Some people say that having or starting a relationship with someone is not easy. But I think keeping a relationship alive is more challenging, especially in a relationship that has to do with distance. Have you ever imagined having a serious relationship with someone who lives on the other side of the world, who lives in a different time zone, grew up from different cultures, and speaks a different language? It sounds tough, isn't it? Yes, it is. My husband and I met each other online in 2017, and he decided to travel from the US to Thailand to meet me in person in January 2018. After meeting in person, we became serious and started a long-distance relationship. In October 2018, he traveled to Thailand again, and I became his fiancée. Then, we needed to live far apart again. In May 2019, he traveled to Thailand again for our wedding party. And again, he flew back. In January 2020, he traveled again to meet me in Thailand and flew back. It was like again and again, and it was extremely exhausting. We had been in a long-distance relationship for about 3 years, and now we live together. Due to my above experience, I want to share 3 tips on surviving my long-distance relationship to you. Tip number 1, be single-minded. If you are having or going to have a long-distance relationship, you will need to be single-minded. Because 1. Being in a serious relationship is solely about 2 people. But unfortunately, the third, the fourth person are likely to get involved. For example, they will tell you about him cheating on you. That is why you need to be single-minded. 2. Being single-minded also means that you need to focus on how to make it happen. In other words, you have to be committed to only your significant other. Stop looking for a better person. Stop being surrounded by people who like to give you a negative fictional story about you and your significant. Above all, your significant other should be single-minded too. Like I said, being in a serious relationship, it's only about 2 people, you and him. Tip number 2, be consistent. Being consistent is also the key in a long-distance relationship and all kinds of relationships. For a long-distance relationship with a different time zone, you need to communicate with your significant other to find a time that works for both of you. For example, having a video chat at least once a day, but every day. Keep texting and sending photos to let each other know about your whereabouts, such as what you eat during the day, what you buy, and where you go. Don't forget to express or show your love and how much you miss your significant. Don't think that action speaks louder than words, because in a long-distance relationship, a word speaks as loud as your action. But one thing that you should keep in mind, it is impossible not to have time for each other. If your significant other cannot make time to FaceTime or text you even at least once a day, your heart needs to step back. Tip number 3, be independent. Being independent is also a key element to helping survive a long-distance relationship, because it will help reduce your stress and frustration. Please don't forget that you have your own life. Having a relationship or getting married doesn't mean that you will have to depend on the other all the time. And don't expect to gain all happiness from your significant because you can create it yourself. I don't think it will be a healthy relationship if you cannot fulfill it yourself. Besides, being independent will make you an exciting person. because you will always have a compelling story or exciting day to talk with your partner. Try traveling alone somewhere if you haven't done it before. Fortunately, most countries around the world are open to tourists these days, and things are getting a lot better than in the first year of the pandemic. However, there's still a lot of people struggling with their long-distance relationships. I do hope that the tips I share will help you survive the distance and make it happen.